Hello and welcome to NSE Study Break. I am your host Lisette, and today we're interviewing Odalys. Odalys, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm all good.
I'm so glad to hear that. What's been new with you? How are you?
I'm
good.
Yeah. It's getting a little cold here in Arkansas. I'm guessing not as bad as Minnesota, but it's getting in like the 50s. But I've been doing good, just like school and working and everything. But yeah.
That's good. So I'm gonna ask you some experiences, of course, about your exchange. And first I'm gonna ask you, where is your home institution, your home campus?
So I live in Russellville, Arkansas, and I go to Arkansas Tech University, and it's located here in Russellville.
Okay, nice. And then where did you do your exchange at?
I did my exchange at the University of Puerto Rico, Rio Piedras, and that was in the fall 2019 semester.
Yeah, and what did you think of that campus? How did you enjoy your experience?
It was a beautiful campus, honestly. Puerto Rico is in the Caribbean, so obviously you're going to have that warmer tropical climate, but it was there was palm trees everywhere. There was like coqui frogs everywhere, and then even like some iguanas here and there. But the campus itself was really pretty. You could just like walk anywhere. It was really pretty.
So like, what was your favorite place like on campus, if you had one?
I really liked the it was like the plaza that was behind the tower, like do you know what I'm talking about? Like,
yeah.
It was like that little, I don't know why, but that was like one of the first places I went to when I was there, and I just thought like, oh, this is like really pretty to like go ahead and study, because there was a lot of like I said, like palm trees and little benches that you could sit on. So yeah, but I like the library too. I went there too to like study sometimes, print some things off. Yeah.
So since it's such a nice, weather and like climate down there, were any of your classes outside? Like, how's the building set up? Because I mean, it's not as cold as the States.
So the buildings, I felt like it was like an open concept. I didn't have any classes outside, but the buildings, it looked like it was arranged like a motel, because like you could just go, like the buildings had the classes doors like outside.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't all connected. It was like you could go like in a classroom, like from the outside. From the outside, it was to the classroom, instead of like going in the building, going like in a hallway or a passway, and then going into the classroom.
Okay, that sounds nice. You're always in like the sun, get to see the outside world, be in fresh air.
Yes.
Okay, and then my next question is, when you did your exchange, where did you stay and how did you like it?
I stayed in Plaza Universitaria. That's the dorms that we could get through the NSE program. Getting the dorms themselves was pretty easy, because we gotta make the payment to them, right? Yeah. It was just pretty easy, like the simple process you do with like getting your dorms, like at your home university. The dorms themselves, I mean, it was spacious, because we got the, like, and it was like a small apartment in a way. So it was like the apartments that we got was it had like a kitchenette, so it included a fridge, a microwave, a place to eat, and then like some counter space and some doors and cabinets. But it didn't have a stove or like a place to wash dishes, because there is a kitchen in every floor. And then it had like 2 rooms inside that and 2 rooms, and then a bathroom that you could share. So you had a roommate, but they had like technically they had their own room, like they had their own space. So I actually really like that about the dorm. Some things I didn't like, some things at least to be aware of is in order to get into the dorm, you have to like sign up. Like the first day that you get there, you have to sign up and put your fingerprints, put your like biometrics, because you have to sign in with your fingerprint. So you can't, like some dorms, like most of the dorms here at my university, you could just like swipe a card and then you can go in, and then you can even like invite some people over that don't live in that dorm. You can't do that in the dorm that in Puerto Rico, the one I stayed at, because you have to have your fingerprint. Each person has to come in, and there's also a security guard that's there 24/7. Surveying like people that go in. In one way, it's good because of the safety process. It just depends how you take it.
Oh, that's nice though. It sounds pretty nice, and then having the like shared kitchen. I bet that like gave you an experience, like get to know the people on your floor at least.
Yes, it definitely did.
Yes. And then you mentioned you had a roommate. Like, how did that go? Like, where was your roommate from? Like, did you grow to like her? Were you guys friends?
Yes. So I ended up rooming with her name is Marianne Yontop, and she was a sophomore. I think she's a junior now, from Oregon. She went to, I forgot what university in Oregon she went to, but it was in Eugene. I think it was in Eugene, but she's from Portland. She was the sweetest thing. Like, we were both we had very outgoing personalities. So we would always, after class or on the weekends, we would go ahead and go to the beaches. And then we would like go eat out, just go ahead and explore Puerto Rico. We would also go to Viejo San Juan. But no, it was like, I was really lucky to have the roommate that I had, because I really didn't have any problems with her. As far as living with a roommate, like we take turns taking out the trash. We just make sure that the bathroom and like the places that we share weren't messy. So yeah, it was a really good experience.
That's great to hear. I'm glad you had a good roommate experience.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the next question is, what were some of your favorite parts of your exchange?
Definitely, for sure, going to all the beaches. Because I probably went to like more than 10 beaches there. I mean, it's Puerto Rico, it's in an island. And what I really liked about the university that I stayed at is that it was in the city, in the capital of San Juan. So you could take public transportation through the subway or through the bus.
Okay.
Or you could take an Uber. Uber was the quickest way. It was the most expensive way. But what we usually did was just go ahead and what's it called? Go ahead and share the price for an Uber. So yeah, but we got to go to like all the beaches there. They were really, really pretty beaches, like nice white sands, blue water, like waves. It was just like, I didn't see the blessing of being able to go to the beach after class until I got back, and I can't do that anymore. Also, I mean, of course, like meeting all the great people that I met from different parts of the states, from different parts of the world. Like, that was, besides the beaches, that was the best part too. Mm-hmm.
That's great. I'm glad you got to meet so many different people.
Mm-hmm.
My next question is, what was a challenge you had to overcome while you were on your exchange, and what did you learn about yourself by overcoming it?
Well, I was the only person to go from my university, from Arkansas, I think even from the South. I don't think anybody was there from like Missouri or Oklahoma or something. So I went to the university alone, like basically. Like, I didn't know anybody there. Like I didn't even know anybody from Puerto Rico. So it was like I was going totally alone, like totally new experience. So that was something like very challenging at first because I had to learn how to navigate through the city by myself, navigate through like processes, like getting a dorm, finding places to eat, like, you know, finding like groceries and stuff, and just like not having any prior connection with anybody before.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but by the first week, but like the thing I did to overcome that was just to go ahead and talk to people that I was surrounded by, try to find connections with them, and it actually worked out pretty good because by the end of the month, I already had like this close group of people that would show me like we could go ahead and go out, and then you know, I can hang out with them. So I guess I learned that in situations like that, that I can go ahead, you know, and be. It was just like a sort of independence, I
Mm-hmm.
guess you could say. Like I was solely, or what's it called, depending on myself to go ahead and make those connections. So.
Ooh, I think that's great, especially for future NSE students watching this,
Mm-hmm.
to like look at and see that, you know, that might be a little bit of a challenge going on
Mm-hmm.
your own. But like, look, you did great. You made a lot of people, got good experiences.
Yeah.
So on your exchange, what were some of your favorite campus traditions or even just things about Puerto Rico that you really enjoyed?
Um, I really like how open everybody was. Like Puerto Ricans, I really didn't know how they were because, like I said, like I didn't grow up with Puerto Ricans.
Mhm.
Um, but honestly, their culture is so vibrant. People were so friendly to me. If I had any questions about anything, like the students that live there, they would go ahead and show me around. And especially, I feel like when they met people from other places, like if they told us if we told them that we were exchange students, they would just be more eager to help and more eager to show their island because they're very prideful of who they are, and
Mhm.
I really respected that of them. What was that? So along with the people, like being friendly, being really open, there was also great food. um, and it's just like a great overall atmosphere. Like just there, I just felt people didn't stress as much as people do here. And I just really felt like it was just really easy to have a great experience from the people that were there, like the culture that Puerto Rico is.
Ooh, that is
Mm-hmm.
good to know. So
Mm-hmm.
for everyone watching, Rio Pedras, Puerto Rico in general, here, it'll be a good time.
Yes.
So, would you have any advice for students that are looking to go do an exchange in general, and then maybe towards those that are looking to go study in Puerto Rico?
So, just for an exchange in general, I understand that there are setbacks. For instance, like I was very nervous about going by myself, not knowing anybody, going to because the Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory, but it felt
Mhm.
like a whole new place to me, like a whole new country, um, because it's like a 5 hour plane ride from Arkansas. So I couldn't just like, nobody could just like visit me.
Yeah.
Um, so, you know, going out on yourself somewhere, um, in terms of like tuition, um, the exchange program, like what I was able to do was go under Plan B for the exchange program. So I was able to actually pay the tuition at my school, like at Tech, and then still go to Puerto Rico. So when I was in Puerto Rico, I was technically paying my own university tuition.
Okay.
So I didn't have to deal with any processes to pay to the University of Puerto Rico. Like there wasn't any like extra things I had to do as opposed to like going to another country. So I will say that like the NSE program like makes it easier to go on exchange in terms of tuition. So yeah, those two things that if a setback of yours is tuition, then you can do that plan and just make sure that a university you want to go to can do that plan. And then two, about going to a place independently, I mean, you put yourself in a position where you are vulnerable. So I guess it's in a way, for me, it was easier to push myself out of my boundaries because I was vulnerable. So and the benefit, like the outcome of putting yourself out that position is so great because of setting myself out of my boundaries, I was able to meet great people, go to an amazing country, have just amazing experiences. And then in terms of going to Puerto Rico, I mean, like I said, it's like a tropical paradise, basically. I'm not gonna lie. So I just really recommend that, like going to Puerto Rico, especially in Rio Piedras, because like the other universities, there's some universities around the island, but Rio Piedras has, I feel like, the most access to public transportation, which is very important if you want to go places. And then there's English speakers in the city, so they would be able to help you navigate around, so it's not as overwhelming. Yeah.
That's great to hear.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then my last and final question is, why would you recommend NSE to students?
I guess it more relates back to the Plan B program of being able to pay your home's tuition, your home university's tuition. Mm-hmm. So again, you don't have to go through the process of, doing something like adding more steps to going on exchange.
Okay, well, that is all the questions I have. So if you have any more questions, comments, advice you want to say, it's your time.
Just go. Just go on exchange. You open yourself to a whole different world. And it doesn't even have to be necessarily Puerto Rico. It can be to like another state. It could be to another state, like a border state that you live close by, or even like across the country. Like for me, it'd be like California or New York. It's just great to put yourself out of your comfort zone because you learn so many things about yourself. You make unforgettable memories, and it's just like, why not? You really don't have anything to lose. And then if you like the coordinators, the NSE coordinator, my coordinator made it really easy for me to be able to take the classes I needed in Puerto Rico in order to graduate on time. So even that, just like if you're thinking about if you're thinking about like, oh, what if exchange messes up my graduation time? I'm still graduating on time. At the end of the road, I really gained more from that experience than I lost from it. So I just totally recommend it. Like, just go for it. What's holding you back, whatever's holding you back. Like I said before, the benefit of going, I feel like, is greater than the cost of going.
All right, thank you. All right, you guys heard it here first from Odalys. Just do it. Do NSE study. You're going to love it. There will be no regrets.
Yes.
So, thank you to everyone watching. And Odalys, thank you for interviewing with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks.